after 8 o'clock. Sean Smalls, Inside Your Radios, filling in for Mixmaster Mike Winters. Joining us in studio, representatives from the Chaves County Extension Office, Miss Tamara Schubert. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Drew Garnett.
Drew Garnett. How are you guys doing this morning?
We are great. How are you?
Running around like a chicken with my head cut off, but we're making it work.
That's what happens when Mike is out.
I'm telling you, the man makes magic happen. You don't,
Yes, he does.
And he makes it look easy. You don't realize just how much goes on around here until Mike's not around. That's when things get complicated. But it is a growing season, obviously, gearing up for springtime. We're waiting for things to start blooming again. The weather's getting warmer outside, and our minds are turning to the fields a bit. So what do you guys have going on at the Extension Office?
Well, at the Extension Office, I'm the new ag agent for Chaves County, and so I'm here to help out anybody that has any growing questions, any growing needs. I've got a few people asking about fertilizer applications, looking to get their trees in order coming up here pretty soon. Once the temperatures do warm up a little bit more, we are going to be encouraging people to give them some food. Although with the rising cost of fertilizer that you're going to be seeing spiking right now, I always recommend getting a soil test. That gives you an idea of what kind of is your baseline for your soil that you have in your yard.
Okay.
So that can help you kind of narrow down, maybe even reduce the cost of how much fertilizer you need to use.
And so you're looking for like pH levels or
I'm looking at it all.
soil acidity?
Yeah,
like that?
so some of that I'm looking at definitely depending especially on what type of plant material you're wanting to grow. For example, roses like a little more acidic soil. So sometimes if you don't have an acidic soil, sometimes adding a mulch like a pine straw or something like that, that's going to be, as it breaks down, making the soil a little more acidic, helps those roses out. Things like that. So generally we're going to be wanting to tailor that to the specific yard or the specific field, the specific crop, the specific trees that you have in your yard. You're definitely going to want to tailor it to your specific needs.
There's been a lot of attention being paid to soil quality, to different nutrients, and to growing mediums lately for other reasons here in the state of New Mexico. But I've just noticed a lot of attention being paid to soil and quality and things like that. A lot of different materials that, like, people are growing things in coconut husk now. And I've just been seeing a lot of that stuff kind of cropping up.
Yes, and so definitely anything that we do, especially here in New Mexico, we have a series of challenges, specifically water. Mm-hmm. But generally, anytime you're growing something, soil health is so important. A lot of times it can be overlooked, and we just expect, that's whatever, any type of soil, grow whatever. It's not the case.
Right.
So we definitely want to pay attention to our soil health. You're looking at a lot of, especially in agriculture right now, you're seeing a lot of cover crops, making sure that the soil is covered at all times. It works very similar to an active mulch, and then a lot of times they'll till that back into the soil, which adds its own level of fertilizer, a natural green fertilizer, if you will, back into the soil. And it adds that organic matter, which adds what we call aggregations, just allowing that soil to hold itself together so that it can then retain moisture, retains the nutrients really well in that case. So that is definitely something that we're looking at right now, especially with legislation that's gone through in the state. But, one of the things that I always find funny is if you look at a lot of the agriculture that's gone on here in the community. I actually grew up here in Chaves County. I have just recently moved back after 7 years in Florida.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
We are glad he is back.
Bringing the knowledge.
Well,
Appreciate it.
I'm a little dried out right now. I never thought I'd get used to the humidity, but I have been a little dried out, but it's good to be back. But if you look at you drive through Chaves County, and you're going to be seeing here pretty soon a lot of manure from the dairies being put back onto the fields. That manure adds so much more than just fertilizer. It adds that organic matter back into the soil, and we've been doing that here in the community since I was real little, and even before that, but I just remember it from being real little. And so this is something that it's making a lot more news now, but I feel like our growers here in the community have been doing this and these practices for a very long time. And so it's good to see them getting the recognition for it. And it is coming to the forefront in the media and then in the news. But it is something that we have been doing here in the community, and we plan to continue doing.
Nice to be able to kind of put the green thumb to use a little bit.
It is.
Take some of the generational knowledge that we've accrued here in southeastern New Mexico and put it to some use.
Yeah.
Now you were mentioning there's a couple conferences coming up, some big events happening.
Yes, so there are a couple different conferences I want to bring up. So the first one is the High Plains Dairy Conference, which is going to be March 1st and 2nd in Amarillo, Texas. There is going to be a lot of great information, a lot of great talks on that. And you can just look up High Plains Dairy Conference, and you'll be able to find the agenda online real easily. Another one is the Western Pecan Conference, which is going to be in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and that is March 8th through the 10th. Always a great resource for anybody who's growing pecans. And with Chaves County, we have a huge pecan industry, so that's a great one to see new technology that's coming out and a lot of different things that is put on by NMSU. Well, with NMSU.
Okay, and so obviously both these are very specific conferences focusing to a very specific group of people, dairy farmers,
So
pecan growers.
These particular ones are for obviously dairy and then pecan.
Sure.
And then there's another one that's the Southwest Beef Symposium that is going to be held in Tucumcari this year, March 11th and 12th.
I love symposia.
Yeah. So that is always a great one to go to. And then there is another event that this is for any student who's interested in agriculture, ranch management, a potential career in that field, anyone from the ages of 15 through 19. There is the New Mexico Youth Ranch Management Camp. So applications have opened up just now. So again, it's the New Mexico Youth Ranch Management Camp. And if you need to find more information, either call our office or you can go to nmyrm.nmsu.edu.
NMYRM, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's the New Mexico Youth Ranch Management, NM for New Mexico, Y for youth, R for ranch, and M for management. And then .nmsu.edu. And that'll bring you to the link that you can apply for this. So this is, again, for youth ages 15 through 19. It's open right now, but it closes May 6th.
Okay.
It's always best to get your application in as quickly as possible. They do have it open for 30 youth, but they do have it for 3 of them are for out of state. So there's 27 for the state of New Mexico that are reserved. Now, there is a cost for the youth, but there are tons of organizations. I've already been in talks with a few here in the community of Chaves County that are always looking to sponsor youth.
Okay.
So do not let the cost of it deter anybody from applying. They're talking with everybody over there in charge of this particular camp. There has not been anybody that's been turned away for lack of funds.
Awesome.
There's always a way to get it paid for. So we are looking for youth from Chaves County who are interested in applying. I did reach out to the FFA teachers here in Chaves County. Just yesterday, I'm going to be reaching out to 4-H as well.
Okay.
But it's really anybody who's interested in range management, in livestock, and setting up a program. They go through all things beef,
Okay.
the marketing and economics of running a ranch and managing a ranch, utilizing the natural resources to the best ability that you can, and then also just general range management. And so it is a really awesome event that it's been in work since 2011. And so it really is a great program that New Mexico State offers and is available for youth who are interested in agriculture.
Awesome. So super in depth, and it kind of covers every facet of managing a ranch and making it happen.
Yes, it is very intense, and it is awesome.
And
It
there's
is a
lot.
wonderful program.
There's a lot that goes into the business side of things. You always think, I'm going to be a ranch man, going to ride horses and rope cattle all day. No, there's a whole lot more that goes into it. Yeah, you got to grow, you got to show. There's a ton of the business side of it. So
There is.
So that's awesome. So it's nmyrm.nmsu.edu if you want more information. I'll post that up over on the Facebook page too, because it's a lot of letters we just said. But it sounds like you guys are definitely busy.
Yes.
We are super busy, and so we are glad that Drew is back in the office so he gets all those fun ad calls. We do have several other programs going on right now. So we have Kitchen Creations, which is our diabetic cooking school. So our first one is next month for March, and you can still register for that. So that is an in-person 4-part series class. But we had some comments from the community and that they don't drive at night or Tuesdays really didn't work for them. Sure. So if they are missing the one in March, we have started a new one in April as well, and that one's going to be virtual. So if they're concerned about driving or getting in person yet, they can join us in April, and all that information is available through our office or on the website for NMSU Diabetes. And then we are partnering with the library this year as well. So we will start having 4-H Saturdays at the library where they can come join us and do 4-H programming and stuff, whether they're enrolled as a member or not. And then they can hang out at the library and enjoy the activities they have there afterwards.
I like it. I dig that a lot. Go back to the whole kitchen creations thing.
Yes, sir.
I love this idea because I spent a lot of time learning keto recipes because I was keto for like a good solid year, and so I learned all these alternate cooking techniques, all these different like workarounds, and using psyllium husk fiber and xanthan gum instead of like cornstarch and stuff like that. There's all these little hacks, and it's fascinating to me. I love it. Like the stuff that you can do with gelatin blows my mind. And then I just found out about this stuff called agar agar. You ever heard of it?
I don't.
It's like gelatin, but it's like a different like consistency of gelatin, and I'm dying to try it. But that stuff fascinates me. So it's really cool to see that you guys have a program that's teaching alternate cooking techniques. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the virtual program is going to be like top down with cameras.
So they are. So our virtual program in April, it's done throughout the region. So there's 4 different agents participating in it. So you'll have the dietitian on to teach the diabetes nutrition information, and then you will have a cook along. So you'll get all different camera angles.
Okay.
You'll know the recipe ahead of time, so you can cook along with us from home. But it kind of teaches you how to balance your plate for people that have pre-diabetes or are currently diabetic, so that they can get the nutrition that their body needs.
Very cool. And once you get the base knowledge, you just jump on TikTok. You can find all kinds of cool recipes. You get real creative. And then you mentioned 4-H Saturdays at the library. Is that going to be one Saturday a month?
So right now they're going to start out as 1 Saturday a month.
Okay.
Hopefully by summer we're going to kick that up to 2. And then next year when our new enrollment opens up in October, we'll be almost every Saturday.
Awesome.
So they can come, like I said, whether they're a member or not of 4-H. If they always wanted to see what 4-H was about, it's a great way to come out and join us. I think in March we're doing weaving.
Okay.
So yeah, they get to learn. They'll get some hands-on take-home projects that they get to leave with.
Very cool.
And then, like I said, the library always has activities planned right after we're done, so they can hang around and enjoy board games or Legos or whatever it is that's after that Saturday.
Nice.
And enjoy the library.
Very cool. Very cool. So this is the busy season, obviously, for 4-H, for FFA. You don't think about, we're still months away from fair season, but now is when the work is being put in. Now is when they're out, actually raising and growing.
So our enrollment ends on March 31st. So if they are wanting to show this year or do that kind of stuff, they do want to get their paperwork in by March. But you're right. Now's the time that our projects are kicking off. So right now through our office, we have jewelry making, we have crochet, we have quilting, we've got sewing classes, we've got embroidery classes. All those are going on right now.
Wow.
So this is definitely the time to jump in.
Mm-hmm. Keeping your hands busy. I like it. What are the age ranges for 4-H?
So our traditional 4-H kids are 9 years old through 18, but we do have a Clover Bud program which reaches our kids 5 through 8.
Awesome. So something for pretty much everybody.
We do.
Very cool. Very cool. We covered a lot of ground in just a few minutes, y'all. I don't know if y'all are aware. We hit all kinds of different stuff. So obviously, there's a bunch of conferences coming up. We'll talk about a couple of these here, just real quick in review. The High Plains Dairy Conference, March 1st through the 2nd for the dairy farmers out there. March 8th through the 10th. See, I was taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
The Western Pecan Conference coming up March 8th through the 10th. So great info if you're nuts about nuts. The NM Youth Ranch Management Camp is coming up. I didn't write the dates down on that. What was the dates?
Yeah, so the application period has opened right now, and it goes until May 6th. But the dates for the actual event is June 12th through the 17th.
Gotcha.
So every time I come on, I'm going to keep bringing it up so that our youth can keep hearing about it and apply. And
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, hit him over the head with it hard.
Yeah.
nmyrm.nmsu.edu. And as far as like 4-H and FFA goes, folks want more information about the organizations. How do they find out more?
They can always call our office, 575-622-3210. And that also works for anybody in the community having home ec or family consumer science or ag questions. That number gets you all the agents.
Excellent. 622-3210 is the number to call for all things Chaves County Extension Office. You guys are busy.
We are.
Thumbs in all kinds of pies.
That's the best way to be, though.
There you
It
go.
is.
Absolutely. Idle hands, devil's playthings,
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
There you go. Well, Tamara, Drew, thank you guys so much for your time. Welcome back once again, and hope to hear back from you again.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.